Hello.
Is it?
I'm taking this off. You may know this person. They've been walking around camp with a camera all week taking pictures. But if you were to turn the lens around, you would see one of the most determined, hardworking young women I've ever met in my entire life. To various people in this room, she's a sister. She's a former classmate, 2014 grad at Monroe High School. She's a friend, and more importantly, she's been my saving grace this week. Everybody, Nicole.
I've been thinking about this moment for the last 3 years, so sorry if I shake a little bit. I'm going to have to dance it out. A little nervous, but I'm really excited to share with you guys. Go Cats! Alrighty. Actually, I'm going to talk about something terrifying. The thought of this subject to some of you is enough to make you cringe. Look around. We're in a room filled with high achievers. You guys care. I mean, at least you care a little bit because you're sitting here tonight. So I'm going to talk to you guys about failure. Yeah, messing up. How many of you have messed up before? How many of you have ever failed in what you felt was a massive way? Okay. How many of you feel like you experienced failure this week? Perfect. Let me tell you, I am the poster child for failure. Seriously. Out of the 8 years I've been sitting in graded classrooms, for 7 of those years I failed this one class, at least. The 1 year I didn't fail the class, my parents pulled me out of public school, and for my sophomore year of high school, I sat in my stepmom's office for 8 hours a day doing my homework online. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, and Michael can vouch for it because he was there too. Yeah. So the reason I share this with you guys is I need you to know right now that your grades don't define you as a human being. For those who take pride in your grades, that is awesome. I am so happy for you and I admire you, and I envy you. And I'm so glad that you have the freedom and the ability to obtain an education and balance the things that you do, because it's seriously amazing. But for those of you who struggle with the grades, struggle for getting the work done, struggle getting to class, struggle understanding your material, or maybe you just don't care, I need you to hear me. I need you to know that I appreciate you. I appreciate your heart. And I appreciate that you're here at camp trying to learn how to better a school that you might not even feel a part of. Alright, you alone, your GPA not included in any way, you are valuable. And that's for those of you who make perfect grades too. Those of you who melt down over an A-. I understand because I'm gold, and I'm so gold after going to college, and I expect perfection, especially out of myself. And I get you on that level, even if my level of perfection might be like more like a B-, C+, area. So I empathize with wanting to be perfect. But something I feel compelled to explain is my reasons behind my own failures in my own life. I have failed way more than just classes, and I hope all of you have. In conversations with those close to me in my adult life, I just like to say I've been failing forward. In the 2 years I've been living on my own, it's just been one giant continuous stumble after stumble. The minute I feel like my feet might be firmly planted, I start over. But that's okay, because I feel like someone here, or some of you here, need to hear this tonight. And the rest of you, even though you might not directly relate, I just ask for your attention because I desperately need you to understand this about people in your schools. Sometimes, or arguably most times, there's way deeper meaning behind our failures. Failing classes, failing friendships, failing friends, failing promises, failing your parents, failing yourself, whatever. We've all experienced failure on some level. So a challenge that I faced in middle school and high school is that my teachers and my parents, yeah, they noticed I was failing. The credits were made up, and I was held accountable, And miraculously, I was never held back, and I did graduate high school, thanks Jay, wherever you are. I recognize that I was so lucky to have these educators who noticed and parents who grounded me for the majority of my adolescence because they cared. But these people in my life failed me because they failed to dig deeper into why I was failing. So the cycle continued, and every year I would write my list, and I would color coordinate my supplies, and I would promise myself that this one was the year. And again, every year by mid-semester, I was failing half my classes, pulling off a couple passing grades at the very end. I'm sorry, I know you guys, teachers out there love that. Consider this though. How could I have any capacity to pass my classes or learn about the ancient ruins of Mesopotamia or learning how to use letters in math when my brain couldn't make it over a simple task like eating food? Briefly, so you know, I struggled with mental health and eating issues for the majority of my teenage years, especially in the earlier years, which is already hard enough, stemming from more important issues in my other parents' house that I visited every weekend. And guys, I need you to understand this. Sometimes students at your schools, your peers, your classmates, your siblings, they simply cannot be bothered with your pep assemblies and your fundraisers and whatever it is, as great as they are, because there are things going on at home or going on in their own heads that prevent them from being able to care. Or maybe that's you. I stand with you, and I was in your seat, and I get it. And it all goes back to Maslow. What have we been talking to you about every day? What have you been writing down? What have you been sharing? Mental health for sure is a basic need. How can someone even think about belonging if they can't even process thoughts on how to get through their day? Let me tell you, failure doesn't exclusively mean getting an F in a class. Merriam-Webster actually defines failure simply as a lack of success. So we've got everything from a minor flop to a major disaster and everything in between. And under that definition, I failed in a lot of ways. From drawing a crappy Maslow poster for my dorm on day 0 and crying to Bradley about it.
We still love you.
And my dorm girls didn't notice. To failing out of a quarter of college. That's a big one. Failure. Something I've had to learn and something that my dad always said to me that I didn't really start listening to until recently is that failure isn't really failure until you start giving up. Yeah, that triangle is so annoying to draw, and I've drawn at least 10 this week. But I didn't pack up my bags and leave and abandon my dorm because it wasn't perfect. And yeah, as horrible as failing all of my credits in a quarter felt, the girl picked up the packets, picked up the pencils, and I enrolled again. And yeah, I was angry at myself at both of those moments, and I shed a few or a ton of tears, but I continued. I tried drawing a triangle in pencil. I took a quarter off, I changed classes, I changed schools, I talked to different advisors, I got advice from people that mattered to me. And like Leanne keeps saying this week, it's about the process. And like someone almost as great as Leanne once said, we are going to relentlessly chase perfection, knowing full well that we will not catch it, yet in the process we will catch excellence. If you don't know, Vince Lombardi was a Green Bay Packers coach. Almost as great as Leanne. You need to fail in this life to learn. And I'm not going to stand on the stage and tell you that it's easy to fail gracefully, and it's probably impossible. Failure sucks. But I need you guys to promise me that you are willing to humble yourself. You must try and try again and try again. And from ASB things like homecoming, to new ideas, to posters, to projects, and beyond, to real-life issues that you're facing and you will face. Failure's going to present itself in your life, guys. I'm so excited for you to fail this year. Seriously. I hope that you really make big mistakes, and I hope you have to really think about and talk about and generate solutions to fix big mess-ups in your high school leadership and in your life. And I wish this upon you. I'm sorry, but because as hard as my minor flops and my massive failures have been on me, I am so much stronger than I was yesterday, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. And dude, Mary Nicole in middle school could not even envision the woman standing up here today. Really. I'm so proud and I am so confident in my ability as a human being. Whew. Because the failures I experienced as a young woman prepared me for any crappy hand of cards or baskets of rotten lemons that this life might toss my way. So it goes back to you. I challenge you. Actually, no. I demand that you guys dare to take risks, to fail, to learn, to remind yourself that the joy is in the journey, pick yourself up, try again, and genuinely appreciate the times that you strike gold and you succeed. I love you, Mount Trump. And it's like people in this room that make my world go round, and I'm so thankful for the 3 years I got to spend as your day ski. Thank you.
One more time for Nicole. Good job.